All right, good morning, everybody. So I don't know, a while back, a few months ago, a month ago maybe, somebody put a bug in my ear that um, is the Bible really revealing prophecy, like foretelling of the future way back in the day, or is man just conforming to stories in the Bible? Basically, there was a foundation of doubt, laying down of doubt that um, that could this really be real? Is God real? Is the story of the gospel for real? And I didn't give it a lot of thought at the time. I kind of went in one ear and out the other because for me, I know it's true, and the reason why I know it's true is because for those of us who have been to hell and back, for those of us who have been pulled up out of the pit of sin, out of the pit of hell, out of the pit of addictions and just life sucks. The pit of life sucks. Life is hard. For those of us who have been pulled up out of that by Jesus, we know that there's nothing other than a supernatural power, and we know that to be Jesus, and we know that He can, that He does this. There's no denying it, basically. But as I began to try to see it, from what this guy said, um, and then I heard the story about this Christian singer that came out and said he's not a Christian anymore or whatever. He doesn't have faith anymore. And so it began to attack me. I have had these attacks over the past few months that, you know, the further we've come along in technology and the further we've come along in science, there is a strong case that's being made um, that this is just man-made. It's just created. That there's not, the more my eyes are opened, I can see that, hey, man, this really can be chalked up to science or man-made technology can do this. We can, there's deceptions going on. There's, so many different things going on with YouTube and the videos we see and the stories, the news and the stories, the propaganda that comes out. And, there's just so much deception out there that, what if, you know, what if it's not really true? What if this is all man-made to make it look like it's true or whatever? Anyways, I began those are the attacks I began to have. Like, is it? And I just remember back to there are supernatural events in my life that there's no denying that it can't. It's something other than supernatural. There's no amount of technology. There's no amount of propaganda or things in my life that can come along and say that refute certain things that have happened in my life. It's impossible. It can only be the hand of God. And So I just wanted to give this word of encouragement for anybody that's going through that, anybody that's feeling, you know, that, what's all this? Like, is it really real? Like, is this really real? We're living in the book of Revelations, in the prophets of old. We're living in this time. We are the generation. We are the generation that will see these things fulfilled. So, like, is it really real, or is it our intellect and our scientific, technological advancements that can form the illusion of what it's written? You know what I'm saying? What's written in the Word, and it does. It just layers a layer of doubt. It gives you a layer of doubt. I just want to encourage you that you know, for those of us who have been to hell and back, for those of us who have been pulled out of the pit, think back. That's what got me back on track, was thinking back to um, those moments when there was nothing but the hand of God. There's no amount of technology. There's no amount of science. There's no amount of explanation, explaining away things that have happened in my life that have pulled me up out of the pit, that have pulled me out of the depths of hell. There's nothing other than the hand of Jesus Christ. That's it, other than the hand of God. Um, But then I also, listening to the guy, the singer that's from the Christian band from that, that denounced his faith or whatever. I think his name's John something or whatever. But you know, I was like, well, what about those, Lord? What about those that, his story is a story of he was raised in the church. He had a good life all his life. He didn't really share a lot of like struggles where it was supernatural. A lot of his life, all of his life can be explained away, and that it was, I don't want to say easy. Nobody's life is easy, but there was just I didn't hear him talk of any events that were supernatural, that he was involved in. That it was just your typical growing up in church, never really straying from church and just believing because you've been told to believe. And for that, I want to just bring you to John chapter 20, verse 29. It says, Jesus said, this is talking about Thomas, and it says, Jesus said, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe. So for those of us who have been in the depths of hell, who have struggled with addictions and with heartache and with pain that this world has brought upon us, we've seen the hand of God. We've seen Jesus. And here Jesus is saying, for those of you who haven't, yet you believe, you still believe, you're not falling for the deception that this is all science and technology and this and that, and you're not falling for the many deceptions that are thrown at you on YouTube and on in the media and in all the stuff that's going on. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe. So I just want to give you that encouragement. Those are the words of Jesus. Give you that encouragement that if you have had a life that your faith has never been challenged until now, just keep believing. Don't give up hope. Don't give up belief, because there's coming. The word says that there's going to be a falling away, and for a long time, I believe that falling away to be mostly political, where we relied on things, political stuff and political politicians and whatnot to save us, or our money or our stuff and all that stuff to save us. But now I'm believing that the falling away is going to be because people's eyes are going to be opened to the realities of the revelation of the book coming true, and they're going to say, but this can be created by man. There's no supernatural about it, but it's not true. It's not true. It is a deception. You're believing, you're falling away due to your faith not being challenged. Let your faith be challenged. Don't be scared off by questioning things, but hold tight to the truth of Jesus Christ, to the truth of the cross, to the truth of the gospel, that it saves. It saves. So that's kind of just what the Lord put on my heart for this morning. And I hope you guys have a good day. Thanks.